Hey, what's going on, everybody? So I wasn't really sure when I was going to do a video on this. However, I have to go back and fix my new dynasty because I picked a school that for some reason doesn't have a fight song or really a specific marching band to that school. So when I got started on this, I was like, you know what? This has already been requested on how to create a team, a university, in college football revamped. So I guess I might as well make a video on it if I'm about to go through the whole process again. So this is probably going to be the most detailed video you'll find. Again, let me say I'm not an expert on it. However, this is what works for me. You might have another method, you know, Johnny or Jim might have another method that they like to use. And let me just say, you're probably going to mess up and you're probably going to have to re-download the game because that's just what happens. This whole thing's a learning process. You have to do these steps very specific, okay? So assuming you already have college football revamped on your PlayStation or on your PC, because that's what this is for. This is for if you have the game on your PC, on your RSPC3, and you got the game downloaded, you got college football revamped mod installed, and now you want to create a team, okay? For your dynasty or whatever. Not even create a team, you can also do this to edit an existing team, edit the uniforms and things like that. This is going to be a pretty chill video. I think I'm just gonna kind of casually talk and explain what I'm doing. Okay, and I'm going to leave a link to, because what you need is you need this NCAA AST editor. I'll leave a link in the description to download that, because this is kind of how you load your all of your new files. And you're also going to need Photoshop or Paint or what have you. And then there's also a DDS plugin that you'll need to download as well. I will try to get that link to put that in the description. All right, so on my desktop, I have a folder just named the NCAA editor. So you click on that, okay, and now, so the first part of this is like setting up your structure. So like these are like super important to keep you somewhat organized, okay? I know like you'll see I have like a lot of like shit in here, but it works for me because I know exactly what I need to import and not put in. So don't pay any attention to the stuff that I have inside the files right now, okay? I want to show you the structure, okay? So the very first thing you want to do is you want to go to you want to create like a backups folder. And in here, I have a bunch like this FE2IG. That's kind of like, that's your games database essentially. So I'll show you how to do it. We're going to want to make a copy of this and put it in your backups folder, because this is what you're going to be loading to replace the files to put the new ones in the game, okay? So starting off with this, I'll show you how to get there, and then we'll copy and paste it in here, okay? So the first thing you're going to want to do is have a PS3 file where I have my game downloaded, HDD0. You want to go up to disk, find your blues folder. If you have college football revamp already downloaded, you should have this file. Go to game. You want to come here to user directory. And this is like your main like important shit, okay? So what you want to do is you want to click on it, you know, copy. I already have it. And then you want to go back to your NCAA editor file where I just showed you. Find your backups file, your folder, and then you want to paste it in here. So basically this whole process, like you can't just load the main file that you're going to be manipulating. You can't just like load it, put in the new shit, and just overwrite the same file. Like there's a bug in it and it'll make your game like crash, and it's a pain. So anyways, you're going to paste that there. I have a bunch of different copies, but I don't think that's really necessary. I think you only need to have one copy in there. And then you also want to do the same thing with this interface. The interface will have your logo, your team logo in there. So when you're scrolling through all the teams, it's really important. So make sure you go back and the same way, copy your interface and put it in your backups folder, okay? That's step one. All right, so the next important step is you want to make sure that you have part 1 through part 4 folders, okay? So again, I'm just helping you set up your structure. You know, I'll explain all of it here in a minute, but if you need to pause the video, go ahead and do that. Create your part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. A short explanation of why we're doing this is we're going to pull the files from the F2IG, put them in part 1. Then we're going to extract the file from part 1, like rather it's a jersey or something. We're going to put them in part 2. Then we're going to edit the jersey or whatever in part 2. And then we're going to save it in part 3. So part 3 is kind of like the final product. And then part 1, we're going to copy and paste the file in part 1 and put it in number 4. And we're going to override it. I know you either get it or you don't, okay? And if you don't get it, that's totally fine. I didn't get it either. It took me a while. So let's go ahead and do it so I can show you. And yeah. Oh, this is super important too, okay? When you download your AST editor, see how I have it down here on my taskbar? I highly recommend you do that because it makes it so much easier, because every time you save in this program, you have to close out. Anytime you do something, it's like you always have to close out of this. So, all right, so let's go ahead and start. So open NCAA AST. Just to show you, mine automatically took me to my backups file. And this FE2IG, that's the main interface. So we are going to open that. Do not open the one that is actually in your game files. Okay, this is the copy that we made. So in my personal dynasty, I'm going to be actually replacing Rutgers and making them Wisconsin State. And the reason why is because they have like 7 different jersey options and 7 different pants options and like 4 helmets. And yeah, they actually have a fight song. I noticed like a lot of the smaller schools don't have fight songs. Okay, so all right, I'll just show you. So right here, we will have a checklist, okay? So when you open, you want to go to tools and load descriptions. So it kind of like tells you what you're doing. So if I want to do Rutgers, okay, I'm going to come down here to, you'll see the first text is the field. Okay, so this is like obviously the field logo and all of that stuff you'll be playing on. We want to extract this. So, all right, boom, here it is. 413, it says Rucker Field. Yeah, I'm not going to maximize that because this is fine. Anyway, so what you want to do is you want to extract selected, okay? And when you extract it, you want to find that file where your NCAA editor and then part 1. That's the most important, okay? Now, I specifically have jerseys, helmets, and pants. But since you're just doing, there's only one field that you can, play on. Just do part 1. You don't have to add helmets, jerseys, and pants. But it kind of helps you stay organized, because like I said, there's like 7 jerseys, so like I want to make sure I know like which one I'm clicking on. But if you're just doing the field, just go ahead and extract it to part 1. I already did it, so I'm not going to do it. Next up, scroll down a little bit more. All right, so the first thing up you'll see are all the jerseys. You'll see there's a shit ton of them, so we'll go down and try to find Rutgers. Oh yeah, it's really important to know too. I'm trying to avoid having to change my face mask, because you have to like load the hex editor, and I don't really feel like doing that because I haven't successfully done it yet. So I found a team, I think Rutgers has like white face masks, so I'm just gonna use that, and I think that will be fine. Okay, so here's Rutgers. So what I did was I held shift down, and then I extracted it to my jerseys folder right there. I'm not gonna do it because I've already done it, but yeah, that's simply all you would do. You would just find your team, extract it. And what I meant by is you can only like do one thing on this, then you have to close out the program and restart it. Is if I was going to open another file, I would close out the program, open it back up, and then load it. Like I wouldn't come up here and hit load, because then it would mess everything up. I don't know if that makes sense. All right, so the helmets, same thing, same deal. Basically all of those, I would extract my helmets. Pants are down here too. Did I do pants yet? No, I didn't do pants yet, so okay, now I'll do pants. One, two, three, four, 5. Okay, I got 6 pairs of pants. Extract. Not that I'm gonna mod all these today, but okay, so like boom, I extracted them. All right, so now I need to get the logo, the team logo, extracted. All right, so same thing. I'm in my backups folder. I'm going to go down to my interface. This is what I also told you to make a copy of and put it in your backups folder. You can load descriptions, but I don't really, yeah, okay, so there is stuff down here. So you come up here to 141. Remember that 141 is where all the team logos are. Extract this. Same process, put it in part 1. Alright, so now we are going to load back up the AST editor, go back into part 1. And let's start let's start with the jerseys. See, this is why I had to categorize them, because when you load them like this, you have no idea which one's which. So these are the 2013 jerseys. This is going to be my away one. As you see, you got the jersey theme, the decals, like the numbers and the letters that you can also edit too. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this and extract this. This is why you need the part 2 folder. Boom, that's extracted to part 2. Then you can do, then you would want to extract these two to part 2 as well. I think I already have like lettering and numbers, so I'm not going to do it, but that's what you want to do too, okay? So now you have your white jersey, your letters and numbers in part 2 folder. So open up your Photoshop or Paint or whatever you're going to use. Oh, and this is also after you downloaded the DDS plugin as well. Alright, so you go to File, you go to Open. Like I said, if you see a lot of BS in here, don't worry about it. So yeah, we're File, we're going to Open, go to part 2. And here is the white jersey that I put in there, okay? And you see it is a DDS file. That's why you need the plugin. So we're simply going to click on that. Yeah, we hit OK and everything. So at this point, there's different things that you can do. If you guys go into the College Football Revamp Discord, there's files that you can download, and you can take like that jersey and put it into this. Or even if you just wanted to take whatever jersey you have, and you can add stuff to it. You can change the color of this right here if you wanted to. Let's see. Okay, so for example, I downloaded the file that they have in the Discord where you can like create your own Nike Vapor uniform. I think it's this one. Yeah, so it's this one right here. So this is what the file looks like. So you can come down here, change the color or whatever. This is the away jersey, right? So one thing that's really important is this top row of sleeves. These circle designs up here are most important. The ones on this bottom picture don't mean shit. Okay, so the ones up here at the top, these are the ones that you are gonna want to change. So if you're using this file, these first two right here, this is what I learned is like double click on that. That will bring this up. Double click on it again. And keep going. It says open this. Okay, now in this template, they gave you a bunch of different options to do. Like I'm going to uncheck group 1. Find the one that you like. Like I like this one. So all you would do is bring this one to the top. Rasterize it. And I don't know, you can add some colors to it, whatever you want to do. Okay, so when you're done doing whatever, I hit the X, you can hit save, yes, see it, and then it'll pop up there. Hit the X, save again, save again, and then boom, you'll see that it is right there, Smart Object. I don't know, just a cool little thing for you. And then yeah, so those you can like leave the same. You can change the color of all this stuff too. I don't know, it's kind of cool. Then you can also come down here. There's a thing to change the Nike logo, but you can add your own logos and stuff right here. Just make sure, try to get a PNG version. So I'm not going to use this one. I already have one, so I'm going to open that up. That's why I have so much shit in my part 2 folder. I'm just going to use one of those. I think this is it. Yeah, so this is mine that I'm going to use. So all I'm going to do, you know what, better yet, so when you're done with this, I'm going to show you guys actually what I do. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save this as a JPEG, JPG, okay. Save this as a JPEG in part 3. We'll call it stitching. And then what I'm going to do is now I'm going to reopen it back up. See, boom. Now it's all one thing. Your jersey's now ready to be saved as a DDS. I don't know why. I tried saving this as a DDS at one point and I had issues. So again, this is what I do. So this is your JPEG. Now all you're going to do, you see what this Rutgers is one? This is the one that we pulled from the file. You're going to take your JPEG, drag it over here to your Rutgers. Now to see how much bigger this is, Control T, select it all. And we are lined up perfectly, okay? Now we're at a point where you can now save this as a DDS. All you're doing is overriding these existing files, so save as. You want to put this in part 3. Alright, and then this DDS option will pop up. If you remember right here, it says DXT5. You want to select map. I just leave the filter or whatever it is. I don't really touch this either. Unless like I know it has to be an alpha channel. So you would then hit OK, but I'm going to actually put in my like actual jersey that I'm going to use. Alright, so this is my away jersey that I'm going to be using. As you see, I just, you know, replaced whatever was there. Same thing, I'm going to save it in part 3. DXT5, map. Alright, I hit save. And now you're going to come back here to your file. This should already be open on the file that you're working on. And now you're going to want to replace. So now where did you just save it at? You saved it in part 3. There it is. My Rutgers jersey. And as you see, nothing changed. DXT5. That should mean that you did it correctly. Now you would do the same process with the numbers too, which is really easy. You would extract them. Okay, we'll just do it just to show you. Extract them into part 2. I hate having so many tabs open. So open up, go to part 2. You want to find what you just extracted. So what I did was it was the Rutgers jersey right here. You want it like that. You know, you come down here, if you already have like your team colors. Alright, boom, that is done. Same concept. We're here to save as. We'll go to part 3. DDS. Double check, make sure you're doing the right things. Looks about right. We're here to replace. And boom. And then I just replaced what I already had created. Okay, and now this step is super important to make sure you don't screw up your files. So now we are done with this. We're ready to save. So this is what you want to do. Save as. Go to your part 1 first. Go to your jerseys, and then find the one that you're working on. If you can't remember, just pull this down and it shows you right there at the top left. File 01373. There it is. It's right there. You want to hit copy before you save. Go to part 4, the very end. You want to hit paste. So it's right there. Now you want to click on it, and this file already exists. Do you want to replace it? Yes. And boom, that's saved, and now you can exit out. If you're going to do like a lot of jerseys and stuff, I would probably recommend putting like jerseys, helmets, and, you know, pants in part 4 as well, so that way you don't get like really confused. But for the sake of the video, I'm probably not going to do that. Nah, I'm gonna have to do it anyways. So just click and drag that into jersey. All right, now I'm gonna load up the other jersey. I'm gonna do the whole process again. I might speed it up though. I'm assuming, so I go back to part 1, go to jerseys. I'm assuming the second to last is another jersey. Yeah, it's 2013 red. Again, so what you would do is you would extract this into part 2. Open it up in Photoshop. You can change the color yourself, put in your own logo, whatever you want to do. Yeah. But for me, since I already have it made, boom, it's right there. All right, so now the same thing. I'm going to take these decals and export them. Export them to file number 2. Same process. Go to your part 2 folder. All right, get them both opened up. So these two are going to be on my blue jerseys. I think we're just going to give our outline color our like goldish color. All right, and these are the letters. I believe this will be like the last name that's on the jersey. So it's on a blue jersey, so I'll probably just give them, not sure how that's going to look, but whatever. All right, so this is the red name. You see we got DXT5. You guys, it's all the same process. So save as. Save it in part 3. Go down to DDS. You can rename these if you'd like. All right, just to compare, we got DXT5. This is checked. Transparency's in there. On these ones, you do want to make sure you have the transparency option selected. Boom. All right, same thing for this one. Click on it. Save as. Save it in part 3. Save as DDS. All right, open this back up and go to replace selected. And you can just like read the name. It says red numbers decal, so that would be this one. Do the same thing for the other one. And boom, you see the change right there. Okay, and now we want to save this file, so it's the same process again. You're gonna go to File, Save As. Go back to Part 1. Find your original file, like find this file in Part 1 first. Go to Jerseys. If you forget, it's right there, top left. This says File 01372. Find it right there. Hit Copy. Go to Part 4. And then you're going to paste the file right there. And then you want to make sure that you save your new copy. You're saving it in Part 4. You're overriding the file that you just copied. Do you want to replace it? Yes. Overwrite existing file. Okay. All right, so we got the jerseys in there. Let's go ahead and do the pants real quick. As you see, I got so many different options. I don't know which one's which. So I'm just going to click on the bottom one. All right, these are the 2013 white pants. So to change this, you want to make sure, again, we're going to extract. You want to extract this one to Part 2, right? Because that's what we're doing. Same thing. If you haven't noticed, this is very repetitive. Go into your Photoshop. Let's open it up. We're going to open up Part 2. Yeah, so we're in Part 2. We're going to open up the pants. Don't touch that. Just open it up. All right, so here are your pants right here. You can go ahead. If you want to use this same picture, you can do that. Or if you have another template that, again, if you downloaded it from the Discord, which is actually what I have done. And I can show you guys that really quick. Okay, so with that file, this is what you're gonna get. Where if you click like on this yellow, you'll be able to change the color of your pants. And then same concept right here if you want to change your stripes on the side. Okay, so never mind. The pants are not the same as the jerseys. I think you only get 2 options with the pants, or what you can do is you can always create your own, like in this. So if you wanted to like both of these off and create your own stripes right here, you could. So just to give you an example, if I wanted to, I could take this, you want to rasterize it. I don't know, maybe put like black right there or something. When you're done, you just hit save, yes, and then boom. That's what it'll look like. However, I should already have my pants already done, so I'm just going to open that up really quick. I go to part 3 because that's where you should be saving your pants. Yeah, so these are my white pants. I mean, these are my away pants. You know, they're kind of gray. They got the gold Nike sign, WSU down the sides. This is the JPEG file. So what I'm going to do is, remember, this is what we extracted from our AST editor, right? I'm going to take my JPEG and I'm just going to drag it over. I'm going to make it smaller. Again, this is just what I do. You can do whatever you want. Okay, so now I have my pants here. I'm ready to add them back into the AST editor. So I'm going to save as. Double check our stuff. See, now it's DXT1 when all the other ones were DXT5. So you always want to make sure you're doing the right thing. Save it in part 3. Save as DDS. Change that from DTX5 to DTX1. Minimap. I don't think the transparency even matters. And boom. We're gonna come here, we're gonna replace that. Okay, and where do we go? We go to part 3. That's where all of our new uniforms, new logos, new anything goes into part 3 that you've made in Photoshop. So part 2, you're editing those files to move them into part 3 once they're done. All right, and you see right here, Rutgers pants. And boom. Okay, and how do we save it? It's the same process. Save as. Always go to part 1 first and find your file. File 02243. Here it is at the bottom. You're going to hit copy. Go to part 4. I put them in pants. All right, you pasted the file here, and now you're going to click on that file and replace it. Close out of it and reopen it back up. I'm going to do another pair of pants too, real quick. Okay, so these are the red pants. Same thing, I'm going to extract it over here. I'm going to put it in part 2. I'm going to go to my Photoshop. I'm going to open up part 2. It's right there. And the reason I'm opening it up, I already have my other pants made, so it's really nice and simple. I can just load up my other pants in Photoshop and put them into this file. I could just go like into AST and replace it right in here. But like I said before, if you mess anything up, like one mistake can ruin your whole entire process. So I just follow the process. So I go to part 3, I open up my pants, and they are right here. Yeah, so these are my home pants to replace the red ones. So I'm going to drag them and put them over here. Again, really, you got 2 options. You can either mess with whatever pants you have right here. You could, let's say you like Georgia's pants, right? You could extract Georgia's pants into part 2, customize them, and save them as your own. But you just have to make sure the file names and numbers all match. Maybe I'll do that in another video, but this video is just creating your own team. So yeah, I use the file that you download and customize to create this. So I'm going to save as, same thing, save it as part 3, DDS. Yeah, double check, this is a DXT1, same thing. All right, so boom, we're gonna save that. All right, so we need to replace these pants. We're gonna go to part 3, Rutgers pants, here they are. Boom. Now we're going to do save as, go to part 1, find pants. Let's go to part 4. Overwrite existing, give it a second. All right, so we did the 2 jerseys, the 2 pants. All right, so now we got to do the helmet. Part 1. Again, I mean, you see how many helmets that Rutgers has? It's pretty crazy. I'll click on this bottom one. Ooh, see, that will happen sometimes. Sometimes they're not labeled correctly in the F2IG, so you definitely want to click on it and make sure. Okay, so note to self, that bottom one's not correct. All right, so I got the helmet here. Again, it's the same process. I already have these 2 made up. So if you're wanting to customize them, extract to part 2, customize them, that exact file, and then save as DDS and replace it here. Same process. I'm just replacing with what I've already made. All right, save as. Part 1, we'll go to helmets, and then we'll try to find our file number. We will copy it. 1782. Go to part 4, go to helmet, paste. And we are going to save and replace it. Boom. Okay, so now the helmet, jerseys, and pants, they're all done, and they're all basically, you see it's kind of the same process. So now we are going to exchange out the team logo. It's a little bit different. We're going to open up our NCAA ST again. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to close out of this because we don't want to mess anything up. You want to go to your backups file. In the beginning of the video, I told you to make a copy of your interface. That's what you need to do to change out your team logo. And to get to your team logo, you need to extract out this 141. Okay, I've already done this. I'm not going to do it again, but it's important that you see it. Okay, so once you do that, you'll exit out. You can extract it to your part 1 folder. See, I have it right here. This is the 141 inside of the interface. And it's pretty obvious. You just come down here and then you want to find your team. So I am replacing Rutgers. Here it is. It's going to be number 80. So really simple. You're just going to hit replace. Or I'm going to, guys. It's the same process. If you want to put in your own logo, you're going to export this out into part 2. Put in whatever logo you want. And then make sure you save it as a DDS and save it as your DXT5. And save that in part 3. I obviously already have it. Here's my logo. It's right there. Wisconsin State University. All right, so same thing. Okay, so now you're done. You got your logo in there. Save as. You want to go back to your part 1. Hit copy. Go to part 4. I'm just going to paste it right here. And then we're going to overwrite the file. Same thing. Boom. Now it's in there. Now the last thing we need to do is our field. I think we did that earlier in the video. Can't quite remember. But I believe your field is going to be in the F2IG. Once you hit load descriptions, you'll see it'll be like the first row of information. So I have it right here. I'm going to load this up. All right. So I got Rutgers field, same process, right? So we're going to extract NCAA editor, part 2. Boom. Let's just open it up. Let's go to part 2. Inside of your Photoshop, we'll open this up. All right, and here is Rutgers field. Again, I highly recommend that you guys try to join the College Football Revamp Discord because they have a lot of information, a lot of things that you can download. And one of them is this, I think it's called Rob's Field template. template, and there's a lot of good like information in it. A lot of good logos and stuff like that. Yeah, Rob's field template. I obviously already have it, so I'm gonna open up. You know, they have like blank fields and stuff, but I like his actual Photoshop file. All right, so this is what it looks like. It comes with like logos and you know, the sidelines, the hash marks, bench area, end zones in your field. I'm gonna go ahead and create a new field just because I think mine's a little messed up. All right, so I'm done with this. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna save it as a JPEG, part 3, new field. I'm gonna open up new field. I'm gonna drag my new field over to the Rutgers file that we already have opened up. Open it back up and do a nice little double check. It's a DXT1. So let's save that. Save that in part 3, DDS. All right, DXT1, we got the mini map selected. All right, it's gonna take a second to save. All right, now we are going to replace this. I didn't add any conference logos or anything because I'm still kind of undecided on what I'm gonna do. So yeah, and again, if you're creating a team, just remember that not a lot of these small schools may not have a marching band. I don't know if that's due to the college football revamp adding your school into the game, but yeah, it kind of messed everything up. So go to part 3. Here's my records file, and boom, there it is. Okay, so it's in there. Save as. Same thing. We're gonna go back to part 1. Here's my file. We're gonna copy it. Paste it into part 4. All right, so now it's right there, 413. This is the correct file. We're gonna save as and replace it. Overwrite existing file. Now it's saved. Boom. Hit the X on it. Open it back up. All right, so just to recap, we have both jerseys, helmet. We got the pants and the field. I think now we're ready to just, for the most important step, put it all back into the main game files. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to save our interface. We're going to overwrite that file first. Okay. So you go to your backups, right? You're going to copy and paste your interface from your backups and go ahead and paste it into number 4. So now you have it here too. We're going to open up our interface. This is where our team logo is. So remember, and those are always 141. So we are going to replace the 141 with part 4. Remember, we saved it in part 4. All right, so now our new 141 is inside of our interface, okay? So now we are going to save as. We just moved this, we just copy and pasted the older interface into part 4. So now we're going to save this interface as the one that's inside of part 4. Overwrite existing file. It says it's saved. Exit out. Okay, so now your interface has your correct team logo that should be in the game. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to open up our part 4 interface. Okay, this is the file that has your team logo. Really simple. We're just going to save as. And then you want to go to your game files now. So, you know, your PS3 folder, your HDD0, go to your disk, your Blues, NCAA 14, PS3 game, user directory. This is where all like your main game files are going to be. So now we're replacing the interface that we just made with our custom logo into the games directory. Yes, override existing file. Now, boom, that logo should be in there, okay? Now it's time to open it back up. Pause the video if you need to, you know, just try to like, I know it's like not easy to remember exactly what I was doing, but once you like do these steps once or twice, it really does make sense. Okay, so now our team logo is in the game. Everything else is strictly off of your F2EIG, I think. So you go to your backups, right? Open up your FE2IG. This is like the very first thing you did, the first step. So now it's time to take everything that we made in part 4, that's in our part 4 folder, and put them into this file. All right, so first up, we are The first thing you see are going to be the fields. So we will find Rutgers. There it is, Rutgers Field. Replace selected. You want to right click on it. This is file 413. And as you see right there, we just made the field. It's 413. All right. Moving on down to I believe the jerseys. We made 2 jerseys. I can't remember which files they were, so let me see. Can't remember, just pull up your part 4 jerseys. It was 1373 and 1372. So we are going to be replacing this. Go to your part 4, go to jersey. Make sure you got the right number over here on the left. 1373. There it is. This one's 1372. All right, you got those 2 done. So now we got the helmets. I got 1 helmet made, and that is 01782. Replace that one. Find your helmet. Match it up. 1782. Boom, that's in there. Let's go down to the pants. We got 2 pairs of pants to put in. This is 2243. Here it is. 2242. All right, boom, those 2 are in there. I think that should be it. Yeah, I think that should do it. All right, so now you got them all in there. What do you do now? This is the part for a while I kept messing up. So I did like all those steps before, and this is when I would always mess up. Yeah, it's not hard. So you go to save as, and it's the same thing. We are going to go to your PS3 folder. Find your user directory. You should already know where that is by now. You come down here to your FE2IG. You're gonna save it here. If you wanted to, maybe feel a little bit more safe, you could save it, like make a copy and put it in your part 4 folder, and then overwrite the part 4 to this one. But I've done it this way before, so I'm just gonna do it again. All right, it's gonna take a second to save. Boom. That is saved, and I'm pretty sure that should be about it. So now let's jump into the game and see what we got. Yeah, let's go to our exhibition. Go ahead and try to find Rutgers. And boom, right there you will see we got our logo in there. Hit triangle to view the uniforms. You see our creation is in fact in there. Our helmet, jersey, pants. So Rutgers has 2 different options that we could mess with, but I only created one of them so far. Here's our white jersey. That came out pretty nice. The cool thing is if you want a different kind of number font, all you got to do is you can either find the team that you want to steal from, take theirs and save it as your own, or I'm pretty sure you can just find whatever font you want and put them in the game, but you got to make sure they match the exact same as the file type. Okay, yeah, so here are the 2 pants that we did create. Nothing too flashy, gets the job done. I like them. So something else that I have to figure out too is, as you can clearly see, we have an Adidas shoes with Nike pant or Nike uniforms. I have not messed around with that yet and figured that out. I think it's got to do with more of messing with the hex patterns and stuff. But yeah, I have not done that yet. So that's kind of something that I've been kind of staying away from. Okay, but wait, it still says Rutgers. What do you do? I'm gonna show you. Let's go. Okay, so what I use is, it's called this NCAA 14 utility tool. Once again, you will find it in the Discord, the College Football Revamp Discord. You can Google College Football Revamp and there should be an invitation on their website. You want to pull up the DB editor. It's going to be open file. Because I know you can change it from your, if you have a dynasty and you wanted to change it, you would click on your dynasty. But since I'm just changing it for my video purposes, I'll just click on the roster and go to user data. There's another video of another YouTuber who goes super in depth on this. I would recommend you checking out his video. I think his name's Goon something. His video is super in depth, where you can change the game balls, the field type, the stadium, and all of that. All right, so anyways, when you open this up, you want to go to your team and you just want to find Rutgers, and we are simply just going to change the team name right here. So because I am probably going to revert these changes, I just wanted to make it for the video. I realized that having Adidas stuff when having Adidas shoes and gloves when I want to run all Nike, it might be a little complicated and I don't really feel like learning new shit, which is kind of ironic. I'm not going to change these team colors because I don't feel like changing them back. But I will tell you that like I said, look up his video. He will explain all this in depth. Your TB2G right here. What these are is these are going to be like if you notice when I showed you guys the team, the background was still red. Well, if you want to change that so that way your fans and everybody all match the same colors as your actual team, what I'm going to do is I'm going to link his video in the description. When you get to this point, I want you guys to click on it because he's going to be able to explain and go into depth way better than I can. So just know when you get to this point, go ahead and check out his video. I just wanted to show you guys how to get your uniforms and logo into the game. But this is also important because, like I said, if you want to do a whiteout for your team, if you want all of your fans to have your same team color, you want to make sure you have that. I wanted my video to be about how to get your uniforms and logo inside the game, because when you check out his video, he can literally show you like which option the football is to change. So you can change it from a Nike or a Wilson. I mean, you can change the goalpost, you can change the field type. Like there's a lot of different things that very good. So I'll just leave it at that. So we're going to load this back up. We're going to try to jump into a game and see how everything looks. And I'll explain to you kind of like what still needs to be done. All right, and then there you have it right there. It says Wisconsin State Scarlet Knights. That is because we did not change the Scarlet Knights because I kind of forgot. But yeah, it's in there. So you go to your roster and you just change that. I could have changed that to Vikings. This is what I should have done. All right, it looks like they came out pretty good, pretty good. There you have it. There is our beautiful field. Like I said, I didn't want to go into how to change the stadium and all that because I think you would be better off watching that video. That way you can get a better understanding and I don't want to misinform people. Plays good, looks good, feeling good. You know, like, so you're going to find all this information inside of that database editor. So you're going to be able to, all of your fans, you want to change those codes to match your team color. The Rutgers down there on the bottom, you'll be able to change that and the color of that. And then you'll be able to change your stadium too, which is pretty cool. Yeah, with the logo and field and everything, it turned out pretty well. I like it. Numbers too, the number with that gold outline. I like that as well. Oh, get off me. Yes, sir. Come on, get in there. Let's go. That's a score. Anyways, some other questions that people might have. What if I want to go back and change something on my jersey or my field? If you change one thing, you have to re-put in everything from your part 4 folder, which is why we organized it like that. So it is easy. All you got to do, load up your backup FE2IG file, load in everything from your part 4 folder, and save and override and save it as your user directory FE2IG. I'm sure there's probably a lot of like simpler ways to do all this stuff, but this is just what works for me. But this is how you get your logo, your team uniform into the game. Basically how you create your own school, you know, in College Football Revamp. Hey, I hope this can help a lot of you guys out. If you guys have any questions, I'll try my best to get to you. Like I said, a lot of this information too is in the College Football Revamp Discord, but I also felt like it was very hard for me to figure this shit out on my own, even like with the videos that were available. The videos that were available weren't the best quality in my opinion, so I was like, hey, why not make one? I don't know. If you guys like this video, make sure you hit that sub button for me. Definitely appreciate it. I'll catch you guys later.